And then the weight on the feet you talked about.
And then we talked about, that's very important, right? I thought I would talk to you about this first.
Okay.
But then I saw you're kind of doing it, right? And then we went from another.
Pardon? Okay.
And a big thing, you talked a lot about.
Bye-bye.
You talked a lot about the head being away from the
from
the hand.
That's a very good, especially with children, right?
Yeah.
I work a lot with that to keep this open and to see. That's an old Russian trick, right? That they taught the kids. They say, "Look inside your hands. Look inside your hands." You know. And this gets the turning right, and then they say, "Oh, now keep your hands far away from keep your face far away from your hand."
Yeah.
And so this leads to, because it seems to be a lot of people, they do this when they do a bowl. They come in, and of course that's not good, right? So if you do this, then sometimes over the space of a few weeks with somebody already older, they start to change their posture. Their posture become more upright and light. See? Yeah. And then remember the strings with the
shoulder.
And watch when you watch DVDs. Watch for that, because you'll be amazed at how many violinists play like that all the time.
You mean like that?
There is a line, you know, and Sophie Mutter is here, right? She's playing here, but still those strings are in line with the shoulder. Pinko Zuckerman is playing here, right?
Yeah.
You can see even sometimes in the end. Also Milstein plays very low.
Yeah.
Very low, and sometimes you can see even from the camera is there, right? You see this. You see the strings in the shoulder are parallel.
Okay. Yes.
Exactly. And you
okay.
right.
That's this line.
Exactly. So this line. Put your violin up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So here's the line of your shoulder, and your strings should be parallel with that line. So you can be here, right?
Okay.
And this, then, that's pretty good. See, and you have here, not 90 degrees. Another thing is, this is in line with your hip.
Yeah.
That's very healthy.
Okay.
Because if it's many students play out here too much, and this is not good for example, intonation. Intonation. When I ask people, I said, "What are you practicing when you practice intonation? What actually are you trying to do?" And most people will say, "I'm trying to put my finger in the right place," and that's the wrong answer. When you practice intonation, you're practicing adjustment. You have to, nobody puts their finger in the right place, except maybe once in 1,000 times. It's good. But usually you put your finger kind of in the right place, and then there has to be this very quick adjustment.
Yeah.
So the finger has to go down in a way that it can adjust. If the finger is going down too straight down in there, it's stuck. It can't adjust.
Yes.
But the finger is going down more like this, right? Now it's very light. It can adjust quickly.
Yeah.
And that's important. That's why sometimes I can help a person's intonation by just, in the master class, they're playing here.
Yeah.
And I say, "Let's try that again." And I do this. It seems like nothing.
Yeah.
But it's enough to open up everything. And the person is a very talented person, and they don't even they do it instinctively. Then because they change the adjustment of the note is extremely instinctive, right? It's not something you say, "Oh, I have to put my finger higher." It's too late. It has to happen right away. So the body has to be in a position where that can happen easily.
Okay. And you notice I play too much like that.
Yeah, I think so. I think you have to play. Another thing that's very interesting is when people went to Milstein for what do you say, a Probespiel or something. When they went for audition to come. He was very different from everybody else.
Yeah.
You didn't play for him. He played for you.
Okay.
And he would play for you, and he'd say, "Okay, I'm going to play this." And then he said, "I'll play it again. Now, tell me 5 differences. 5 things I did different."
Okay.
He said, actually, I did probably 15 things differently, but you tell me 5. He wanted to see if you could observe and if you could hear. Right?
Okay.
And another thing he did, which was, I didn't understand for a while, he would always look at it, he'd say, let me see your first finger.
Okay.
And he would see, he wanted to see the callus. He told me later, he didn't tell me at first.
Okay.
He always said, let me see your finger, right? And then he'd say, okay, or he said, no, go away. And he would want to see the callus on this side,
Yes.
on this side, not in the center,
The left, right?
on this side, callus on this side.
Okay.
Yeah.
More on the
So when I'm
On the
playing
left.
Okay.
here, okay, the
Yes.
contact point there, not in the middle,
Okay.
but here. And then he wanted to see, believe it or not, he wanted to see the callus being a circle.
Mm-hmm.
Circle. And if he saw that, and he told me later, he said, when I saw that, for example, he said, oh, I saw the circle on your first finger. It was you had a good teacher. And I didn't know. And he said, oh, because later, after I studied with him 3 or 4 years, and then he said, because when you change strings, when you play a scale, you have a rotation here. When you bring your finger around,
Okay, yeah.
you have a rotation. And he said, you do that all the time when you play. That's why you have circle there.
Mm-hmm.
If you had one callus, like a number 1,
Yeah.
he said, then you don't do that.
Yeah. Okay.
But this is very important that the contact point not be in the middle.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, that's very important. Even I spoke with Varga, Tibor Varga, who studied with Hubai, who was a great teacher.
Yeah.
And he said that the way Hubai taught this was that he told the pupils, he said, so you have to play a La. So put your finger on La and Mi, and now play La. Then you have the right
Okay.
side. And this is important for the lineup of the hand. Now I didn't notice you, some people you see they play violin like that. They have this
Yes.
when they play. And this can be caused by the contact point here.
Okay. Yeah.
Sometimes if you get them to do this,
Mm-hmm.
now suddenly
Yeah,
this
it's
fixes,
straight,
this straightens out without saying any more.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's very important.
Mhm.
And then always you should see underneath of your finger. That's another thing. When you're playing, you should see that little bit underneath your finger. If you see this,
Yeah.
not so good. Now you can't adjust.
Yeah. How is it good?
You should see this.
Some of the skin.
You should see underneath, a little bit
Okay.
underneath. So you're coming in that way
Yeah. Okay.
instead of
Yeah.
down like this. See, and that also makes the angle for. If I'm doing this now, my angle is. The angle is the
Yeah. Yeah.
is the same, and basically should be the same. Should be the same. It's always kind of the same angle wherever I play. Maybe somebody's calling. It might be Pierre calling.